Next, thank you. I would like to call on Professor Koichi Hasegawa of Tohoku University, Japan. Thank you very much, Professor Koichi, for coming and joining with us. Professor Koichi and I have a long, working together in the International Sociological Association and also in the Division for Environment and Society. Professor Hasegawa is professor of sociology in the Graduate School of Art and Letters of Tohoku University. And his recent most concern is the sociological analysis of transitional process of energy and environmental policy with collaborative process among authorities, citizens groups, NGOs, NPOs, and private enterprise. That's good, Professor Hasegawa, because Dr. Maharabago has been working on energies with the Congress of the Philippines and things like that. So you have a lot to say. So Professor Koichi, take the floor, please.
Yeah, thank you, Emma. I really appreciate Emma and your colleagues to lead this 16th APSA conference very successful. And first, I would like to introduce Japanese situation related to today's presentation.
You can share screen if you want.
Yeah. Okay. Can you
can you maximize it, Patty? Or
yeah. Can you look at my slides?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. First, I would like to the situation of Asia Pacific areas. Yeah. I will show the major big natural disasters in these 25 years. Yeah. From the Great Hanshin Awaji earthquake in 1995 and in Philippines, we have a very strong image and the damages Typhoon Haiyan in 2013, 8 years ago. And 2018 in Japan, very strong floods happened. At that time, unfortunately, more than 250 victims within several days, very big rainfalls. So we are realizing climate crisis is already a reality, even in Japan. So, as you know, Japan and Philippines and other Asia Pacific area is a very high risk in the quake-prone areas. Especially Japan is one of the present mobile belts with the highest activity on the globe. So our sociologists in Asia Pacific area, we should raise the voices to extend the definition of sustainability. As you know, traditional definition of sustainability is related to future generations, related within our generation, relationship between developing countries and developed countries. Yeah. South and North relationships, and also related to natural limits. But I think we should raise the voice. New dimension should be included, related to resilient community or local resilience, especially vulnerability. So I really appreciate today's Justin's first presentation. He is really focusing on adaptation and vulnerable group. And I agree his conclusion, the strong combination of voice and participation and empowerment. Also, 3/11 disaster in Japan, tsunami disaster, and Fukushima nuclear disaster, we are also finding raising voice and involvement in total participation process and also empowerment. Yeah. But I want to ask to Justin, how about in your study, the effect of gender differences, gender gap, and differences of generation. Generation gap. And also, I would like to thank you, Maha's presentation today. Yeah. Japan is also very extremely weather events prone country, especially in recent several years. And I'm very interested in her study, the contrast of formal sector and informal sector. Formal household and informal household. And also, I'm very interested in today's Gay's presentation, especially in how she is focusing in the situation of barangays. Very special situation of Philippines. Yeah, and in Japan, I'm reflecting on the 3/11 tsunami disaster and Fukushima nuclear disaster, we should describe and analyze first, who are victims, what are major damages, and second, who are responsible for. Yeah. In natural disaster, traditionally, none are responsible. But in recent situation, we should analyze, especially in Fukushima nuclear case, who are major perpetrators and causal factors, and mechanism, structure, and historical background, and who are protesting, outline strategies, targets, and support base in case of protest movement, and how we should respond from policy making. For example, in case of nuclear and coal-fired power plant, Germany is a leading country. So in case of Japan, unfortunately, weak political leadership and centralized ineffective regulation and authority system, weak and small NGOs, no Green Party, weak voices from civil society, but strong voices from economic sector, Japanese Keidanren, and a close relationship between a ruling party, LDP, and economic sector. So, Germany, after Fukushima nuclear accident, Germany is pushing policy change and forwarded climate actions. In my city, myself is committing a legal protest to coal-fired plant. But such a legal protest is very difficult in Japanese situation. But this flag said no coal-fired plant in Sendai port. Anyway, yeah, let's raise our strong voices from the Asia Pacific region to forward climate action and analyze vulnerability and adaptation. Yeah. Thank you for your attention.